my name is Becky, Education Coordinator, Wildlife Interpreter here at Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge, and welcome back to this week's Wildlife Wednesday. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how rescues work here at Turpentine and about the animals we've rescued this year so far in 2021. So to kind of give you a backstory on how our rescues actually work, there's a few different ways. We cannot take the animals away from their owner. They have to surrender them over to us, or they get in trouble from an organization that can do those legal matters, and we work with those groups. To name a few of those, we do work with IFA, which is the International Fund of Animal Welfare. We work with the Department of Justice. We work with PETA, plus many others, to rescue these animals and to give them their forever home. Also here at Turpentine, we have the capability of transporting animals to other facilities during a rescue. If the sanctuary they're going to may not be able to transport a lot of large cats at once, we can help with that. So to give an example of that, back in 2016 when we had our Colorado project of 115 animals needing rescued, we brought 34 of those here to Turpentine at the habitats we had available, but then we also helped to transport cats across the U.S. to other sanctuaries who are like ourselves. So when we go to these rescues, we may bring all the animals to Turpentine, we may bring some and transport others to other places. Every rescue is totally different. And we also never know when a rescue call is going to come through. We just have to be ready at all times for that rescue. Some we may know in advance, some we may not know in advance. This year has been a very busy year with rescues here at Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge. We've actually rescued 18 different animals this year alone and have added 2 new species to Turpentine that we've never had before. So back in the early spring, we did receive a phone call from a family in South Arkansas. They had a hyena named Rambo. Rambo's owner tragically passed away in an accident, and the family reached out to us to rehome him here. We never had a hyena before. He is a spotted hyena, and so bringing Rambo here has been a lot of fun to learn more about that unique species. Now, Rambo's actually not on the general public tour that you would do if you came here and visited. He is on our behind the scenes tour. He lives at Rescue Ridge, which is our retirement area. And so at the end of the video, I'll kind of tell you how you can reserve tours for that if you would like. But Rambo is a very unique animal, and you can hear him up to 3 miles away when he starts talking. So we have had guests who have heard him kind of in the background talking after the lions talk sometimes. Also during the same time frame in that early spring, we received a phone call from a lady near Houston. She had 2 African servals, JJ and Say. She had them as pets and then realized she really couldn't take care of them anymore. So she reached out to us to ask us if we could rehome them here. And in true African serval fashion, once JJ and Say arrived, they were very hissy cats. Servals like to let you know that they are there. So JJ and Say were living in a habitat just themselves when we first got them, but we have just recently introduced them to Hunter, another resident serval at Turpentine. So when visiting, you can see them in that discovery area just at the beginning of that bear tunnel. Fast forward a little bit to summer, and we worked with the Department of Justice to rescue 13 cats in total from the Tiger King Park Zoo. Now, we can't really say much more with that rescue currently. When we can, we most definitely will. But out of that rescue, we gained a new species as well. That is Bagheera, our resident black jaguar. You can actually find him next door to Spike, our black leopard, in that discovery area. So on your next visit, it's really neat to see the difference between a jaguar and a leopard, and they're right next to each other. The rest of the animals from that Department of Justice rescue do live on the tour road. So in that, we got new lions named Simba, Lila, and Samira, a new liger, Manny, a liger, Cairo, who was a lot of fun to watch, and tigers, Stevie, Jagger, Opie, Priscilla, Dodge, Jinx, and Rosie. So Priscilla is the mom to Dodge, Jinx, and Rosie, and you can see them both in the discovery area and on the tour road. Again, as I said, we can't really say much more about that rescue currently, but keep posted with us. When we can say more, we most definitely will. There will be stories from that rescue that will pull at your heartstrings. But that's not the end of the rescues for this year so far. Fast forward a little bit further to the beginning of fall, and we received a phone call about a cougar named Sasha. She was a pet in an apartment in the Bronx, New York. So our team made it their way to New York, brought Sasha back down here. The owner surrendered her over, realized a cougar as a pet, not a great idea. Sasha lives in the discovery area as well. We are introducing her to our 2 resident cougars that we already had, Louisa and Marissa. So next time on your visit, you may get a new cougar talking to you. She's a pretty chatty cat. And then our most recent rescue took place just a few weekends ago, and his name is Jake. He is an African Serval. So Jake actually came from a man's property in Norman, Oklahoma. The man had over 300 animals of 81 different species that were seized. This seizure took place back in early spring, mid-spring. The animals went to a facility in Oklahoma to house them until the court case was finalized. Most of the animals were not cats. Jake was the only African Serval there, so we were reached out to bring Jake here since we have the capabilities of caring for an African Serval with all of our other African Servals that we have here at Turpentine as well. Jake actually came to us without a name. Our animals usually come to us with a name, and we keep those names that they had because they already know those names. But since Jake didn't have a name, some of our amazing supporters have decided to be his lifelong sponsor, and so then they therefore named him Jake in their honor. So whenever you come and visit Turpentine, you will see many different new animal faces. We are so glad we were able to rescue these 18 different animals and give them their forever home this year at Turpentine Creek. And just like with everything else, you guys, we cannot do what we do without support from our wonderful supporters such as you guys. From adoptions, sponsorships, behind the scenes tours, general public tours, everything goes back to help us take care of these animals. If you want to know more about how to adopt, how to sponsor, how to do a special behind the scenes tour, all of that can be found at our website at www.tcwr.org. And on behalf of all the animals, staff, and interns here at Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge, we cannot wait to see you guys here visiting with us, and happy holidays. I hope everyone has a safe and wonderful Christmas and New Year's. Thank you guys. Bye.